Good morning, everyone. A very warm welcome to all the panel members and the shareholder to the 40th Annual General Meeting of Deccan Gold Mines Limited. We have requisite quorum in the place. Currently, total 32 members are present for the meeting. I now hand over the proceeding of the meeting to the chairman, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, moderator. Good morning, shareholders. I am Kailasam, chairman of the board of Deccan Gold Mines Limited. Today is Wednesday, September 25th, 2024, and the time is 11:30 a.m. At the outset, I welcome all of you to the 40th Annual General Meeting of Deccan Gold Mines Limited. This meeting is being held through video conference in accordance with the circular issued by the Ministry of Corporate Affairs and SEBI. Before we start the main proceedings of the meeting, let me introduce my colleagues who are here. Mr. Hanuma Prasad, the Managing Director, Subramaniam, the Executive Director and Company Secretary, and Karunagaran, the CFO. I also welcome the other directors, Dinesh Gandhi, Elango, and Deep, who have also joined the meeting for remote occasions. I confirm that the statutory auditors and the secretarial auditor are present for the meeting through video conferencing, and I welcome them to the meeting. We have the requisite quorum present through video conference to conduct the proceedings of this meeting. Participation of members through video conference is being reckoned for the purpose of quorum as per the circulars issued by MCA and Section 103 of the Companies Act 2013. The quorum being present, I call this meeting to order. I now request Subramaniam to provide general instruction to the members regarding participation in the meeting.
Good morning, everyone. Members may note that this annual general meeting is being held through video conference in accordance with the Companies Act 2013 and circulars issued by the Ministry of Corporate Affairs and SEBI. Facility for joining this meeting through video conference and other audio-visual means is made available for the members on a first-come, first-served basis. The applicable statutory registers have been made available electronically for inspection by the members during the AGM. As the AGM is being held through video conference, the facility for appointment of proxy by the members is not applicable. The company has received requests from a few members to register them as speakers at the meeting. Accordingly, the floor will be open for those members to ask questions or express their views. The moderator will facilitate this session, and once the floor is open for questions, it may be noted that the company reserves the right to limit the number of members asking questions depending on the availability of time at the AGM. The company had provided the facility to cast votes electronically on all resolutions set forth in the notice. Members who have not cast their votes yet electronically and who are participating in this meeting will have an opportunity to cast their votes during the meeting through the e-voting system provided by link in time. Members are requested to refer to the instructions provided in the notice or appearing on the video conference page for seamless participation through video conference. In case members face any difficulty, they may reach out on the helpline numbers. Thank you.
Thank you, Subramaniam. I now request you to provide a summary of the auditor's report.
The statutory auditors and the secretarial auditor have expressed unqualified opinion on their respective audit reports for the financial year 2023-24. There were no qualifications, observations, or adverse comments on financial statements and matters which have any material bearing on the functioning of the company. The statutory auditor's report on standalone financial statements and consolidated financial statements are available on page numbers 63 to 74 and from pages 117 to 124 of the annual report respectively. Further, secretarial audit report is enclosed as Annexure 4 to the board's report and is available from page numbers 30 to 33 of the annual report. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you, Subramaniam. As the notice is already circulated to the members, with the consent of members, I take the notice convening the meeting as read. We now come to the formal proceeding of the meeting. The Board of Directors have appointed Mr. Jay Shah, Rati Associates, Practicing Company Secretaries, Mumbai, as the scrutinizer for the e-voting process. Further, I hereby authorize the Company Secretary to declare the results of the voting and place the results on the website of the company at the earliest. The resolutions as set forth in the notice shall be deemed to be passed today, subject to receipt of the requisite number of votes. Further, the combined results of remote e-voting and electronic voting at the venue, along with the scrutinizer's report, shall be communicated to BSE. The results shall also be placed on the website of the company and link in time. The results of the poll shall be displayed at least 3 days on the notice board of the company at its registered office and will be placed on the company's website. Also, the scrutinizer's report will be placed on the website of the company and on the service provider's website within 48 hours from the conclusion of the AGM. We now take up the resolutions as set forth in the notice. Remember that we are not taking hand vote here. So I will just read out the resolutions. Ordinary business, item number 1, ordinary resolution to receive, consider and adopt the audited financial statements of the company, including consolidated financial statements for the financial year ended March 31st, 2024, together with the board's report and auditor's reports thereon. Item number 2, ordinary resolution. Reappointment of Dr. Hanuma Prasad Madali, who retires by rotation and being eligible, offer himself for reappointment. Special business. Item number 3, reappointment and payment of remuneration to Dr. Hanuma Prasad Madali as Managing Director. Item number 4, special resolution. Reappointment and payment of remuneration to Mr. Subramaniam S. as a whole-time director. Item number 5, special resolution. Approval for borrowings in excess of the limits prescribed under section 180 subsection 1 subsection C of the Companies Act 2013. Item number 6, special resolution. Approval for creation of security in respect of an undertaking of the company under section 180 subsection 1 subsection A of Companies Act 2013. Item number 7, special resolution. Approval to make investments, give loans, guarantees and security in excess of limits specified under section 186 of the Companies Act 2013. Item number 8, ordinary resolution. Approval of material related party transactions between and or amongst in any manner or combination the company's wholly owned subsidiary and its step down subsidiary and with other subsidiaries stroke associates of the company. The text of the resolutions along with the explanatory statement has been provided in the notice circulated to the members. All the items today's at the AGMs have now been transacted. Thank you for attending the meeting. I now request Hanuma Prasad, Managing Director, to make his presentation to the shareholders. Mr. Hanuma Prasad, Managing Director, kindly make a presentation.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, and welcome to all the shareholders, and also thanks to the board members who are present here along with me. It's always a great pleasure to come back to you and give the progress report and the annual progress report to the shareholders. I think last year when we presented to the shareholders, we clearly said that 2024 is going to be a path-breaking year for us. And we articulated that we will be getting into the production. So eventually by the end of 2024, we will be one of the gold producing companies and probably the only gold producing company in India. So I think we are very close to it. We will be achieving those targets, and we have also made significant progress in various other things, which I will be showing in the number of slides that I have. And also, I would like to inform that this presentation has already been uploaded on the BSc, so you can always have a look at it as well. So so as I said, these are the highlights of the year 2024. Of course, 2024 is yet to complete. We have another 3 months to go. So 2 gold mines on the cusp of production. You know that the one is the Jonagiri project and the other one is Altintor in Kyrgyzstan. These 2 mines are very close to the production. I do understand that there is a kind of, what should I say, amongst the shareholders, there is anxiety whether these things are going to happen or not. There are not many updates on the construction or whatever it is on these projects, but I assure you things are going on well. I'll show you some more slides and also video of these 2 projects. We are very close to the production in these 2 projects, and that will really put us on a producer's path. And also in this year, we acquired a lithium project in Mozambique and commenced shipping of high-grade ore. This is, I think, is one of the important things that have happened to us. We took a conscious decision of moving into the diversifying into the critical minerals, which are going to the future of the mining industry. As a part of that, we acquired some lithium projects in Mozambique through our subsidiary in Dubai. And already we started shipping of the high-grade ore, which is available in these mines. And also there are exploration activities continuously going on in Finland, Tanzania, and also in India, which are showing promising results, which I will be explaining again.
And the other one is the consultancy vertical. It is continues to grow, and active projects that are where we are working now in Malawi, in Tanzania, Zambia, Cote d'Ivoire, Mozambique, Libya, Kyrgyzstan, and Somaliland. Not at the same time, of course, but our teams have worked in all these projects. We in fact made a small revenue this time, and which is going to grow next year and more in further. And for this consultancy division, we have acquired drones and LiDAR sensors, which we are going to use for the consultancy work. And also, the company has raised about 118 crores for equity and debt to fund the development of the projects where the money has been spent effectively and judiciously in all these projects. And another important achievement that the company has made, we have built a multinational team of experts. As you know, many people actually, a couple of them moved to India, and also we have teams in different countries now who are more or less the local experts. Like in Finland, we have the Finnish guys, and also in Kyrgyzstan, we have large Kyrgyz team, which are roughly around 150 people who are working there. So we built a strong multinational team of experts. And also, if you all remember, one of our strategies is to build a strong board. And this year, we have actually brought in 2 experts onto the board, and we are going to further strengthen this board next year so that it looks absolutely professional and what should I say, of the best class to run this company. And the other important thing is we have, as a company, as a team, and personally, we are very concerned with the ESG, and we want to play a key role. As a mining company, we have additional responsibility to take these ESG initiatives, which is a passion to us as well. So we have done few things, like particularly in the Janagiri project, we have solar powered vehicles. I mean, you wouldn't believe that the small auto rickshaw kind of things we are doing with the solar vehicles, the solar powered vehicles, and also some of the tailings that are coming out of the pilot plant. We have started brick manufacturing out of it, and those bricks have been used to construct even a small temple within the project area. So these are some of the things which you have been doing. Other than similarly in Kyrgyzstan also, a lot of these things have been adopted, and we are going full ahead, full steam with this ESG initiatives. So we also continuously work closely with the local communities. I mean, there are about 500 families in the Janagiri project area. They are directly benefited by our activities. Another 150 people have been employed, and in a place where people simply migrate to Bangalore and Hyderabad, they are now got the jobs, and it made a significant impact on the local community. And also more than 500 to 600 families, indirectly they are benefited with this kind of our operations. So that gives great pleasure to the entire board management, and as a company, I think we want to build sustainable communities around our mines. That is what we are doing. So these are some of the highlights that 2024 has brought to us. And next one, please. So I'll get on to the individual projects, how they are, where they are. The first one obviously is the Janagiri Gold project. I think every shareholder is concerned with or anxious to see the gold production here. And I assure you again, we are on the track for the commercial gold production by the end of 2024. Some people have messaged and asked whether we are, I mean, like last time we did articulate that by October it will be ready. It's more or less ready. Maybe another 1 or 2 months, we will be able to commission the whole thing and get into the full-scale commercial production. And also some people felt that looking at the annual report, the 2025 first quarter of the financial year is the what it is going to be, but that's not the case. By end of March 2025, we will have ramped it completely to the maximum production, whereas the actual commissioning would start much ahead of that. So need not worry about it. There are no other issues. Yes, we have updated to the shareholder sometime back. This processing plant would require environment clearance, and that those things are also on track. Couple of meetings have been done. Documentation has also been done. So we don't foresee any obstruction from any of those things, and also no other permissions are required for this plant to operate. So we are very confident that we are on the time, plus or minus month or couple of months from the October, I mean to say. And the pilot scale gold production is going on. We are producing small quantities of gold, and this pilot scale operation has clearly shown the process flow that we have adopted is going to be replicated on the bigger plant as well. So that from that perspective, it is successful. We have also sold gold to the local refineries. I mean, in India, IBM approved refineries. That's where you have to sell the gold, which we have been doing. About 235 acres of land has already been acquired, which is sufficient for the mine and processing plant. As a strategy, we are moving ahead to acquire further land. If you all remember, in the Jonagiri project, there are 4 mining blocks. Currently, we are going to operate in only one for the next 10 to 12 years. So we have planned to acquire the land in the other blocks also. That is in the process. But the current land that has been acquired is sufficient for us to operate mine as well as the processing plant. The infrastructure development is also in full swing, like water pipeline, power lines are in the final stages. Anytime the power line could be charged. That is the update as far as infrastructure is concerned. And other important thing is drilling, additional drilling to enhance the resources in the west block, south block, and deeper part of east block, that is below the current pit, is also going on. There are 3 drill rigs which are currently operating in the site, and they are adding. I will show some results in this presentation as well. Deccan currently holds about 33% and plans to invest further. Yeah, I mean, this percentage of holding frequently changes depending on the investment that we make or our partner Triveni makes into the company. And another 65 crores is expected in the next couple of months for this project to complete. No debt funding is planned. It is going through the equity. It will be contributed by the shareholders, and I am sure it will be done. There are no hindrances here as well. And Deccan also would like to contribute. We have plans to contribute further into the project and increase our stake. And also I would like to add, Geo Mysore as a company would like to grow further beyond, contemplating to grow beyond Jonagiri project. So there will be further opportunities for us to invest into the Geo Mysore to increase our stake. Next one, please. Yeah, these are some of the pictures. Yeah, I mean, I'll run a video also on this. You can see most of the things, all the equipments are set, even leaching tanks are done. And in any given project, the long lead item is actually the grinding mill. That has already been set and already that's been commissioned as an solo equipment. So that has been done, and various other things, the lab, storage, first aid thing, and process water storage. You can see in the second row, right hand side, beautifully it has been lined, and tailing dam is also being done. The next one. Yes, you can actually run the video. Yeah. We have a small video of this. Please have a look at it, and then we'll get into the presentation again. This video was taken about 20-25 days back from the site. From a drone camera, it has been taken. You can see the Nelson concentrators. This is the fine ore bin where the ore will be crushed ore will be stacked, and you can see the ball mill. That is the most critical one. And these are the leaching tanks where the cyanide leaching will happen, and you can see the agitators which are already set in. And these are the detox tanks where the cyanide, once gold is recovered, the material will flow into it and it gets detoxed there. So that when it comes to the tailing dam, there is no cyanide left in those in that material, which is a mandatory requirement as far as the environment is concerned. This is the filter press to recover the water. And these are all the elution unit from where actually gold will be produced. and this is a process water storage facility. You can see how beautiful it is lined. And this is the reagent preparation area, and electrical substation is already built, and it will be connected to the main line, and it will be charged very soon. And this is the first aid center. And this is the project will have in-house laboratory facility, and this has already been done, and the equipment has been established within that one. So significant progress has been made, and we are really close to get into the production in this project. Very soon you will hear about the updates on the actual date of commencement of this project, which is not very far, I might add. The other important aspect of this Jonagiri gold mine is recent exploration. As you all know, there are more than one block in the Jonagiri mining lease area. One is the east block, that is where we are going to start this mining operation. And we also have west block and south block. So in these three blocks, we started drilling operations. There are 3 rigs, as I said, currently operating on the site. All rigs are operating at 2 shifts per day. That means literally 24 hours we are drilling there. The summary of the drilling carried out in 2024, you can see that there are about 1,888 meters have already been drilled. The idea is to enhance the resources in the west block. West block is going to be an underground operation, which will come into existence probably after 12 to 13 years. But we need to understand what are the resources. The grades in the west block are going to be high, and also south block is going to be an open pit operation, and we have identified good zones there also. Now, of course, the east block is our current focus, and you can see the outline of the pit there. But we are adding further resource to the east block. As you all know, about 9 tons of resources there in the east block. We are drilling now below that so that to enhance the resource. And I think in a month or a couple of months, I will be able to give further updates in terms of resources, etc. So these are the next slide. These are some of the intersections. They are good intersections actually. If you see some of them in the GDS 24, 5 meters at 12 grams, and there are higher grade intersections like 18 grams, and also decent widths like 4 meters, 8 meters at 2 grams. These are all good intersections, and we are hopeful that additional resources will be added to the project. What it does, it will increase the longevity of the project. Currently, the first phase is about 10 years, but looking at the different blocks and results, I think this will have much longer life than what we initially planned. I think that is how many of the gold projects are going to be. Next one. So that is about Jonagiri project. I think fingers crossed, please be prepared. Very soon we will know when this is going to be commissioned. The next one is the Altintor Gold project, which is also very key to us, and this is where we own about 60%. So it is our subsidiary, and as you all know, the idea here is to modernize the processing plant, and the work is in progress. It's going on in full swing. There are about 20 Indian workers that we have sent. Actually, we have sent them from the Jonagiri project once they completed the fabrication work. All of them were in total sent to the Kyrgyzstan project. They are all working there. Leaching plant designs approved, and fabrication work commenced already. Civil work for ball mill and other components commenced. Actually, ball mill has already been manufactured and it is ready to ship to Kyrgyzstan. Only we are waiting for the civil work to complete. Then the ball mill also will be brought to the site. And procurement of the other equipment as required is in progress. Another important aspect here is the mine is at around 3,300 meters above mean sea level. And in winter, the temperatures are like -30, -40 degrees, which is very freezing. And the entire water will get frozen there. That's why we completed an underground water pipeline, which is really required to keep the processing plant running 365 days. That has been completed. Entire camp has been renovated. Camp facilities have been, that is done. And also resource drilling is in progress. Further resource addition will also happen here. And Deccan owns about 60%. We are going to invest this money pro rata basis to complete the construction and production of the plant. I mean, I just want to add a couple of points here. This project is very important for us because in the first 4 to 5 years, we don't even have to mine a single ton of ore from the mine itself. So there won't be any mining OPEX in this project. There are tailings. About 2 years we will be running the tailings. That means even the processing operational cost is also going to be very less. And after 2 years, there is a low grade stockpile that is the graded 0.8 grams, which is already mined and kept. About 1 million ton of such ore is available. So around 5 years, we will be operating the processing facility, including the leaching circuit, at a very high EBITDA margins. I think around 60–70% EBITDA is what is anticipated in the first 5 years. The project will produce about 350 kilos of gold every year, and we own 60% of it. And as I have been always articulating, in the first quarter of 2025, around February, we'll be able to commission this plant. Next one. And I think as we have updated on July 10th, a capsule ceremony has been done. That actually a kind of historical moment where all the government officials, they have come and recognized that Indian investment in Kyrgyzstan. By the way, this is the first mining project done by any Indian company, and Deccan is proud of being the first one in this country. There is a lot of anticipation as far as the Deccan's contribution to this is concerned. Next one. And these are some of the pictures where the work is going on. You can see the tanks that are being fabricated. In the background, you can see already there is a crushing circuit already built that is already available actually. And also we have a small video of this, which we will run. Yeah, these are the camp facilities which we have built now. There are camps for, I mean, there are 2 kitchens, one for Indians and one for Kyrgyz. This is the capsule ceremony that has been done. And this is the overall view of the area. You can see the pre-existing processing plant. Yeah, that one with only gravity circuit. Now what we are doing is we are building the leaching tanks there and also bringing another ball mill so that the capacity will be enhanced to 1,000 tons per day. Currently, it is previously it was operating at 400 tons per day. That too with only gravity circuit. Now from next year onwards, it will operate at 1,000 tons per day with lot of gravity and leaching. That would give significant revenues. That will bring in the even low-grade stockpiles and tailings into the production circuit. That is the plan that we have. This is all the crushing circuit. We revamped the entire crushing circuit already. All the new machines have been brought in and erected as well. Yeah. You can see the Indian workers who are working there on site. And just to give an idea, based on our experience in Janagiri project, the construction of leaching tanks could take around a couple of months. And I also would like to add, this is the right time because from December onwards, there will be a lot of snow and we will not be able to do the civil work in particular. And also for Indian workers, it will be very difficult to work. That's why we mobilize them as quick as possible. Of course, there were few delays which we did not anticipate, but now teams are on the site. I mean, hopefully we'll finish the civil work by December before the actual snow comes in. So this is another great project. As I said, about 175 workers per shift. They are taken from the nearby villages, and they are all working on the site. And it's the biggest employment provider in that remote area for the local people. Again, many of them would have migrated to the capital city or even to the other countries like Russia, Uzbekistan. They have been growing, but all of them now stayed back, and this provides a great opportunity for them. And also, one other thing I would like to add: Kyrgyzstan is a very sensitive in terms of environment regulation. Their regulation is it says that environment is over the profits. That's what they always say. Environment is very, very important, and as a responsible mining company, we are taking care of everything, whatever that is possible for us. Next one. So the third project is the lithium project in Mozambique. This is the first project. I shouldn't say really first project, because we already have the nickel copper project in India, that is a Balukona project, which we have acquired and waiting for the final execution of the license to happen, which probably will happen very soon. But this is one project which gets us into the lithium, tantalum, rubidium, and cesium, and we already started some of the activities like selling the lepidolite ore. So in that way, this is a step ahead, and this is the first one from where some amount of production has already happened. This project we acquired last year, this year in the month of May, June. So within 4 months, we are able to bring out high-grade lepidolite ore and get into the production. So this is a fairly advanced project where there is a good amount of lithium ore that is available, high-grade lithium ore, which has the credits of tantalum, rubidium, cesium. Tantalum, by the way, is used in the capacitor, so the price is always good for tantalum. That will give good additional credits. And the project is located in one of the famous areas that's called Alto Ligona pegmatite belt. It's one of the world famous belts, and which is known for lithium, tantalum, cesium pegmatites. It's called LCT pegmatites, technically speaking. You can see those red lines. They are the ones, those yellowish orange. Those areas are the known areas, and all our projects are well within those potential areas. This is our first foray into lithium and associated minerals, as I said, and this actually very strategic move that aligns with India's goal to secure a steady supply of critical minerals. The idea is, once we set up the processing facility, probably by the end of next year, we'll be shipping the concentrates to India. I hope by then we have a good market for this. As you all know, today the biggest market for lithium is in China, because entire battery making is there. But I'm sure, I know that a couple of companies have already taken permissions in India to set up the downstream industries. So we'll be talking to them to supply our material to them. So that process is on. As I said, recently we shipped 150 tons of high-grade lepidolite ore. I mean, how this whole thing is going to work? If there is more than 2.5% of lithium in the ore, say lepidolite ore, current market price is around $200. It's about $200 per ton of the ore. So if it is a lepidolite ore, and if it is a spodumene ore, that will have around 4 to 6%. That will get about $600 to $800 per ton in this depressed market. So that's how the costing is going to be, and the additional credits of tantalum, cesium, and beryllium will add on to the top of this. Next one. So the plan that we have is Deccan will set up 100 ton per day flotation plant. This will bring in all the existing stockpiles, existing ore of more than 1% lithium oxide into the flotation plant, and will prepare 4% of the ore. That gives us the better market value, and along with that we produce lithium and tantalum in that concentrate, and that concentrate will be sold. That's what we plan to do in the next 1 year. For this 100-ton processing plant, bulk samples are being collected for beneficiation and mineralogical studies, which will be carried out at SGS laboratories in South Africa. I think next week the samples will go to South Africa. By the end of this year, we'll have the report. That's a flow chart to set up the beneficiation plant. Simultaneously, we'll carry out detailed exploration activities to identify a resource. Our target is about 3 million tons of resource. That means every year we'll be processing about 0.3 million tons of ore to produce around 12,000 tons of concentrate of lithium every year. Further tenement acquisitions are also being considered because ours is one of the few companies which have gone in there, and we are moving ahead quickly. So there are many other opportunities also that are coming towards us. As far as the trading operations are concerned, as I said in the previous slide, we started with 150 tons this month, but from next month onwards, we are planning to scale it up to 1,000 tons per month. And in this company, Deccan owns 51% and local partner has 49% as on today. But once we set up the flotation plant, which would cost us around 12 to 13 crores, or roughly around $2 million, Deccan will get up to 70% in the project, and the local partner will remain at 30% non-diluted stake going forward. Next one. So these are some of the mines. You can see that white material, that is where the lithium bearing rocks are. This is a pegmatite mine. This is from where we are taking out the ore and selling it off, the high grade ore which is marketable. But going forward, you cannot just pluck out the high grade ore and sell it. The target is to prove a resource of 3 million tons, enhance the processing capacity. Initially, we'll set up 100 tons per day, but once we prove 3 million tons, we'll set up 1,000 ton processing facility, which would require about $10 million. But we believe the revenues coming out of the project itself could substantially contribute towards this $10 million. $10 million, which is required to set up the processing plant, and aims to produce about 72,000 tons of lithium concentrate per annum. 6,000 per month, 72,000 tons of lithium per annum, with additional credits of tantalum, cesium, and beryllium. And this project, when it is working at a discount factor of 12%, the NPV of this project would be anywhere between $62 to $68 million based on the current prices. I'm not even going to the previous high prices of lithium. As you all know, the market is quite depressed today, but still with these prices, we'll be able to make this kind of money. And going forward, I believe India would be the biggest market for these kind of materials. Next one. And you can see some of the stockpiles that are already there in the site. And some of the workings done by the artisanal mines, they all will become part of our mining area, but we will not be doing like this, obviously. We'll design a proper mine and expand the whole operation within the next 1 year. And we have a full-fledged team with an office in Maputo, that is the capital of Mozambique, and also on this site. Next. So these three, the Jannagiri project, the Alkintor, and this one, the Mozambique, I think these are the ones which will push us into the next level in the next year. The other projects, I'll just briefly touch upon all these projects. This is the Finland project. I think last time also I have explained it. We have 32% here, and we can go up to 51%. Out of all the prospecting license, there is one mining lease application. It's a small scale mining lease application. Here we have high grade quartz veins, and the mining lease application is on one of those quartz veins. And this application is pursued with an aim to start a small scale mining operation in 2025, which is possible because there is a toll treatment plant close by. So we can take the high grade ore, concentrate it, and then take it to the local smelting facility to produce the doré bars, which has already been done previously. If you see the doré bars that are produced, they are from this mine previously. This is one of the reasons which is currently, it is small, but it has the potential to grow big. But at the same time, we can start off some amount of production from this. That has actually has attracted us to take over this project, and we are investing in this project as well. There has been some amount of drilling done. There are, you can see the high grades on the right hand side. The grades as high as 25 grams per ton. but they are all, so these high grade quartz veins will be mined and gold will be produced out of it. Simultaneously, while we are doing this small scale production, we will again do a lot of drilling and feasibility so that by 2027 or 28, we'll have a much bigger project and more sustainable project here. Next one. These are other exploration projects in Tanzania. You all know that we have about 5 licenses for gold, and we have commenced detailed exploration in these project areas. And last year we have acquired a license for lithium, which is close to a very well known lithium project in Tanzania. We believe that it is in the continuity of that particular project. So we have our local team, and there is a local director who is a geologist, and also our team closely working together. We have carried out extensive detailed geological mapping and geochemical sampling. These are some of the sample values that we got in the Nzega Tabora Greenstone Belt. That's PL block 11524. We got about 8 grams in one of the quartz veins that is being currently trenched. And similarly, in other licenses also, we got the sniffs of the gold. I can only say at this point in time on the surface, we got decent results, and we'll be pursuing them to identify drill targets in this year. If everything goes well, next 3 years, we'll be exploring this, and if resource is identified by 2028, we'll have the production coming out of this project. Next one. So these are, and this is the lithium project area. About 100 square kilometers of prospecting license has already been granted to us. There are multiple pegmatite veins. These are the kind of pegmatites that we are seeing in Mozambique also. So detailed work is going on. We own 100%, obviously, it's part of our subsidiary. And I'll update if there are any results very soon on this from this particular block. Next one. So this is our nickel project, Balukona Jamnidi in Chhattisgarh. We, as you all know, we got this block through auction, 30 square kilometers of the area, the potential for nickel, chromium, copper, and associated platinum group of elements. And this, we already got the LOI, which is obtained. We have got the clearance from IBM as well as the Forest Ministry. So we are waiting for the final execution of the license. Once that is done, we'll start with the geophysical surveys. And I also would like to inform that we are in talks with one of the agencies, which is CSIR agency. With the help of them, we are going to start the geophysical surveys. I think next week or the following week, we'll have an update on that. So this block is considered to be very potential for nickel, chromium, and associated minerals. And already 400 meters of a strike length and 500 meters has been identified with a good amount of nickel, platinum, and palladium. So detailed work is going to be planned. The moment, I assure you, the moment we have this lease executed, within 15 days or a month, we are going to mobilize the geophysical surveys which are required to develop this project. Next one. So the other important arm of ours is the consultancy. You all know why we have started this consultancy business. When we planned this one, we thought it will help us to look at the projects outside India. Those projects may be good for us for future acquisition, and also it will help our team to grow. It will give the kind of knowledge that is required for our team, and also it will generate its own revenue. So with that purpose, we have built this business. Last year, we started the company in Dubai, and we already acquired some of the equipment required for this, like the drones, the LiDAR sensors have already been acquired. We are going to use this, and we have taken projects. Our core philosophy here is to work with the critical minerals and gold mineral blocks and see if they are good at some point in time. We would talk to the owners and try to acquire stake in those projects. So these are all the services that we have been providing end to end. That is, I think, the strength of Deccan Gold Mines, having good technical people starting from the geological work to the building of the processing plants. We are in a right position to do that one. So many Indian companies operating in Africa would require these kind of services, and they feel very comfortable working with us. So continuously there are opportunities coming up, and these are the aims that we have. And so last year we made a small amount, last year is 2024, till now we made a small revenue out of this, about $54,000. We have already revenue has come into our books, and next year I'm sure it will going to increase multifold. And these are the countries where we are working. You can see the pictures on the right hand side. We are into the drilling operations for graphite in Malawi, and also we are drilling for copper and graphite in Zambia. In Tanzania, we are doing for gold. Kyrgyzstan also, other than our project, we are consulting someone for gold. And Somaliland, Ivory Coast, we did it for nickel, copper, PG, where we did a lot of geophysics. So these are the projects we are doing, and I'm sure this part of this company, our subsidiary, will grow as a consultancy and also as an investment vehicle for us into the overseas projects. In fact, through this company only we have acquired lithium project in Mozambique. So it shows we are already moving very fast with this company. Next one. So last but not the least, I know this is the first love for all the Deccan shareholders, and this is Ganajur and Hatti licenses. There are frequent updates that I have been putting. The company has implemented, there is an Indocil case into which we have implemented. The next hearing is on 15th of October in 2024. It's a tentative. And Indocil judgment was delivered in May 2022, and Karnataka High Court ordered the execution of mining lease in their case, but the government, both the governments, went to Supreme Court against judgment. So that is being heard. That's where we include into the case. Sum and substance, our view on this is as not many mines have been opened in India in the last 5 to 10 years, particularly gold and critical minerals, and also not much money is coming into the exploration. The government is probably rethinking, the policymakers are probably rethinking that at least the advanced projects which are in the pipeline are very close to the production, like our Ganajur and Hatti. They should find a way to grant these kind of leases. I think that is a slightly optimistic statement that I am making, but eventually I hope that's what is going to happen. We are also in continuous touch with the policymakers who are and articulating them to bring a favorable policy regime, particularly for gold and critical minerals, which is a need of the hour for India. So let's hope our efforts are on, of course, through the legal angle as well as the policy angle. We have been working, and it is everyone's dream to get the Ganajur project. But once it comes in, I think it will take less than 2 years for us to get into the full scale production here. Next one. So these are some of the expected timelines. I will not take much time. The graphs speak for themselves. The Jonagiri Altin Tower, and then third one is by September 25, we will have Mozambique project, 100-ton processing plant will be done. And then by 26, once we prove 3 million tons of ore, we will get into the 1,000-ton processing facility. Then beyond that, we have Finland, Tanzania, and India nickel PG project that is in Balukona. It is, I think, more realistic, these numbers. First 4, I am very, very confident. Other ones, of course, it depends on how the resource is going to be, what is the quantum of the resource, etc., etc. But these are the kind of timelines that we are expecting for this for these projects. Next one. So these are the cumulative gold production. I think we'll reach to around 1.5, 1.6 tons per year as far as the gold is concerned. But you all, I remember some time back we articulated that we could reach the 5 tons by 2030. But that is gold equivalent terms. That's what we were articulating at that time. So the lithium that's going to be produced, and also nickel, copper, PGE concentrates that will come out of Balukona project. If you put all of them, we'll be very close to the 5 ton per annum production. and in terms of gold equivalent numbers. And of course, if gold production could significantly increase if Ganajur and Hatti licenses are granted, which are not taken into consideration here. These things you can actually check because this whole thing will be uploaded into the already uploaded in BSc and we will upload into the our website itself. Next one. So this is what Deccan in 2025 and beyond. There are going to be 3 operating mines in 2025. I think that will really make a significant impact for us and create a huge value for the long-term value to the shareholders. And I must thank all of them, all the long-term shareholders who have stuck to this company. I think this year and next year will give rich dividends and valuations to them. And hence the company with it becomes junior to mid-tier producer over the next 5 years. And during this process, we will also be identifying additional resources for gold and critical minerals in Finland, Tanzania, and India. And the other thing that we are doing as we grow into the next into the producer, we also need to look at additional projects. And this time the plan is to get to the larger projects and also to near to the production kind of assets. And we have been doing due diligence in some of these jurisdictions, particularly Africa, CIS, and as far as in South America. And South America is also one of the very mineral rich area, particularly for RE and other deposits. So we are doing the due diligence on this. I think we will come back on these things very quickly. And obviously, once we have to acquire these projects, we need capital. We are looking at the appropriate mechanisms, like one of which is considered as FPO. And there are some people, they came to us with an offtake arrangements. We are negotiating with them as well. These arrangements are mainly offtake arrangements are mainly made for the overseas projects. Particularly the guys in some of the funding agencies in Dubai are looking at this opportunity. So all these activities would definitely create long-term value to the shareholders. And of course, our ultimate aim is to make Deccan into a community-focused, sustainable green mining company. We have taken several initiatives, as I explained, and it is a passion of all the team members that we have under management. And of course, I believe that all the shareholders will have the same view on how the company will progress going forward. And as a mining company, I always believe we have additional responsibility to make our environment, our communities more sustainable, because we are going into that community and producing metals out of it. It's not that they invited us. So we went there in search of the metals. So we have to be more responsible, more community focused, and any operation that we do is to be sustainable. So with that, I think the presentation part is over. And I also take this opportunity because we have been getting mails, particularly from some of the very active and long-term shareholders who obviously have a lot of interest in this. And if chairman permits, I would respond to some of those queries that they have raised so that it will save some time for us as well. And I think some of the points like environment clearances have timelines I have already addressed. One of the things that people, some of the shareholders have asked, what happened to the site visit? Now, which we have promised multiple times that we will send teams, will bring shareholders to the Jonagiri site. Yes, that has been delayed. There are few operational issues, particularly out on the site. That's why we have delayed it. Close to the production, I promise that will be done. And that visit would include both the shareholders as well as some of the potential investors, including the mutual funds and institutional investors. So that is what is planned. Please give us some time. We are completely focused on getting this project across the line because in the last 20 years we have been operating. This is one opportunity where we actually cross the line. So please give us some time. We will definitely do it. There is no other reason but for the few of the operational issues we could not do it. And also one other biggest grouse that many shareholders have, that promoters and some key shareholders have been selling shares in the last few months. I think with regard to the promoters share sale, we have already been couple of times in these meetings where I did articulate the two key shareholders, that is Charles Devonish and Mark Creasy. They are not selling any shares. They are the major promoters. They are stuck to this country. But whereas the reality is, these investors, the retail shareholders, they have come into this into India in 1994. That's quite a long time, almost like 25, 30 years. So they have some of the retail shareholders have been selling the shares, and this is the only exit for them. Some of them are actually 70 to 80-year-old. So, but any of this share sale of shares, they are selling for their own reasons, but not because they don't have trust in the products. I would like to make it very, very clear. Even for that matter, the sale done by Hira and others, and also MedEdu and also Lions Gold, there may be their percentages which I'm not fully aware of, but I think many of them have stopped selling the shares, and definitely not because they don't have trust in the products or trust in the company or trust in the management. They have strong faith in all these things going forward. So I think more than this, I may not have any information on the sale of shares by some of the key shareholders and promoters. So I think that's all from our end, from the management and personally from my end. Thank you very much. And next time when we meet, I think we'll be branded as producers. That would be a big step for the company. And once again, I thank all of you for stay put with this company for a long term, and you will be benefited, I assure you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Anumaji, for your detailed presentation. Now we shall open the floor for taking questions from shareholders. I now request the company secretary to provide some brief points to the shareholders in this regard.
Yeah, thank you for taking the time and joining our 40th AGM today. Before we go live with the Q&A session, here are some points to note for your convenience. Kindly turn on your video when you are projected on the broadcast screen. Unmute yourself and proceed to ask the question. Please mention your name and the location from where you are joining. Once you have asked your question, you can log off and continue to watch the proceedings. Each shareholder will have around 2 minutes for their questions. And to avoid repetition and enable smooth flow of session, the board will respond after all the questions have been taken. So over to the moderator to invite the speakers.
Thank you, sir. Currently, there are only 2 shareholders are available. So now I invite our first speaker shareholder, Ms. Prakashini Shenoy. Madam, you are in the panel. You can turn on your video and speak.
I think we can invite others.
Sir, there might be any technical issue. So I may now invite our next speaker shareholder, Avinash Moe. Mr. Avinash, you are in the panel. You can enable your video and speak.
I hope you can hear me.
Yes, sir, you are audible, sir.
Okay, thanks, Hanuma. Actually, my all questions are already answered. Just one small question I have. You said that, okay, project requires additional funding of 65 crores. Okay, so how we are going to raise it? Is it RI or FE or anything?
Yeah, see, this 25 would be required in the next couple of months. So FPO, I think there may not be realistically speaking, FPO would take more time. So we are talking to a few investors to bring this quantum of money. Yeah. But in the long term, definitely once we are close to this production, we want to do the FPO for the reasons that I have explained in my presentation.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. With this, we conclude with the speaker shareholder queries. Now I hand over to the management. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Please note that we are always happy to answer questions that you may still have, and we welcome you to email your queries to us, and we shall respond promptly as always. With this, the 40th annual meeting comes to an end. I thank everybody. I thank all my colleagues on the board. I thank the investors. I thank the banks and all the government organizations for supporting in making a progress in our company. Thank you all.
Thank you very much.
Thank you everyone for joining the meeting. Meeting is now concluded. Voting lines are open for next 15 minutes. Now you can take